Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. This is Jim Rosati. We are here for your NS9 emergency podcast because Ben's awake. Ben is alive. He's doing well before the winter meetings. He's ahead of the curve. He's doing things before the winter meetings happen. The Pirates land the password from the Red Sox. How are you doing tonight?
You know what? I was not prepared to really do anything today. And I'm just sitting on the sofa and I get the text message from you. I found out from you because I don't have Twitter anymore. And you just go emergency pod. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I just hear, we got the password. And I was like, oh, all right. So for those unfamiliar, he's called the password because no one can actually spell this name on a regular basis. But yeah, the Pirates acquire Jhostynxon García from the Boston Red Sox. They send Johan Oviedo back to Boston in a 5-player trade. We'll get to it all, but yeah, kind of a shocking deal just right here before winter meeting starts.
I'm shocked. I mean, we just had our show last night talking about trade targets and all the rumored trade targets that the Pirates could go after. And again, they weren't like rumored like this is a trade that's going to happen. It's just like speculation. Other than some teams that the Pirates have been rumored to. This really wasn't one of them, at least the player. I think the Pirates have been linked to the Red Sox for quite some time about Mitch Keller. Is it a Mitch Keller, Abreu package that's going to happen? Is it Mitch Keller, Jaron Duran package that's going to happen? And then, like we mentioned last night, even though I didn't say his name, Sonny Gray goes there, and we felt, okay, well, you know what? Mitch Keller's not happening. But maybe someone else could. Maybe it's someone a little more cheaper or whatnot. And it happens the very next day. You know, Johan Oviedo fits that mold. He's definitely cheaper. He has some years of control still, and that's not going to acquire like the bigger players like the Abreu and the Jared Durans if they want to trade him or not. So the Pirates do make a move. They dip into the well from the starting pitching that they have, and they got themselves an outfielder with some pop.
He's got some pop, more pop than probably just about everybody else who is, quote unquote, major league ready in the Pirates organization. So they definitely fill that need of getting some power. There's certainly some red flags here that we'll talk about. There's a reason why he wasn't in the majors, but he's a nice looking prospect. He has something the Pirates need, which is power, an outfielder. Like he checks a lot of boxes for you. And I mean, if you're looking at just like, how do you make this team better? And you're dealing from a position of strength, which was pitching. Like the Pirates now have a power bat who's essentially major league ready. He's a top 100 prospect on MLB Pipeline. He's a top 100 prospect on Baseball America. Ranked anywhere between like the 3rd and the 6th Red Sox prospect. But yeah, this is he fits a mold that the Pirates just don't have in their system right now.
He absolutely does. And like you mentioned, like he's also major league ready. Some of the guys that might fit that mold are still years away that you hope they can like develop into like the password or such. But they need guys right now that can produce. And again, like that's why we were targeting a lot of guys that are MLB ready, like maybe 2 years remaining on their contract or such, established. The one thing about him, he isn't established. I mean, he's still essentially a prospect. But with that is years of control. Like that was different. Why I'm not comparing him to this, but that was like Spencer Horwitz last year to some degree. He didn't have a whole lot of major league experience. There was still unknown to him, but that tended to work out for the Pirates, at least at this point in time. Right now, you're trading. Although he was injured, coming off injury, he finished the year strong. I think you look at Johan Oviedo as like an established starter. You feel comfortable with him being a starter, probably a workhorse as well type of starter. Good stuff. The stuff got even better last year. So there's a lot of anticipation coming into this year. Like, how good could he be? Well, he's gone. He's now a Red Sox, and that's why they probably looked at him, but also like you're saying, like he's not going to cost like the Mitch Keller. He's not going to cost like the Braxton Ashcraft. So you're not going into the higher levels of pitchers as far as talent goes. But all this stuff that you're saying about Garcia and that he checks off a lot of boxes for the Pirates that they don't have, does come with some risk. There's also a lot of red flags that he comes with as well that make you worrisome. So as much as, you may like this deal for what he presents, there's also some red flags that make you say, I don't know, is this going to work out?
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, he wasn't
before we move forward,
Boston.
I just want to shout out Jim because he does ask Pit City what? Thank you for the 199. He does ask, does Keller stay now? If so, no more big bat free agent. I mean, I just say TBD.
Yeah, I think part of this, we do have to talk about the impact of Keller's outlook after we kind of get through this, because you've just traded Oviedo now, which means that's a piece from your rotation. Can you afford now to trade Keller? I think you could for the right package, but if you are trading Keller, you're probably looking at having to add another starting pitcher too, like just to kind of make sure, because you got a lot of young guys in this rotation who haven't really pitched a full season. Like you had 3 starting pitchers on this roster who have basically pitched a full season of Major League Baseball, and that was Mitch Keller and Johan Oviedo. Those were the 3. No one else has done it. So yeah, does this maybe make you rethink? Yeah. So
I was gonna say,
I think we should talk about that.
We'll get to that. Pit City, what? I want to recognize you. Thank you for the super. We'll get to that here soon. So we'll definitely answer that question.
But I do want to dive into more of just like who this guy is. So 22 years old, power bat, right-handed hitter. Again, top 100 prospect. I think Baseball America has him at 76. You said Pipeline has him right around 85-ish.
I just literally moved over to the top.
I think it was somewhere in the 80s,
but it was like 85, 84-ish.
Yeah. So you're looking at, a top 100 prospect, which does make him PPI eligible coming into next year. Something to think about. Yeah. So 85th on MLB Pipeline. Strong guy. He hits the ball hard. His exit velocities have just gotten better and better as he's progressed through the minors. His power grades out to 50, 60, which is going to he's got 25 to 30 homer upside at the major league level. He's also, like, for the size, he can move a little bit. Not only can he play both corner outfielders, but he can play center field too. He's got a strong arm. He's got good tools. I said the power is certainly the calling card. The red flag is the chase rate. Chases a lot of balls out of the zone. He's got some whiff issues. In AAA last year, he struck out 29% of the time, 21% of the time in AA. So like it that's not ideal for you. If he is able, though, to at least get a little bit better with the hit tool, and if the power can play, you can live with some strikeout issues. So it's really just going to come down to, like, can he make enough contact that the power makes up for the swing and miss stuff? Because he is always going to have some swing and miss in his game, like, regardless. You hope he can kind of get that a little bit more under control. But yeah, that's the weakness here for him, is the strikeouts. But the thing that jumps out at you is the power and the upside there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, I think like he has a solid floor in that sense, because he does come with good defense. It's not as if like he's just a bat guy. The one that we talked about this offseason was just go identify bats, get him in here and figure out where they're going to play, because you just desperately need bats. He might not have the best contact rates. Like, he might not end up being the best hitter on this team, which isn't a tough challenge, but still he might not be one of the better hitters, but like he should be able to play some good defense. So at least he'll provide value elsewhere as also. Like, if he doesn't be the hitter that you really are hoping for him to become for this team to take that next level. So again, like, it's not going to totally flame out for him. He'll have some solid defense, but the power looks real. And like you mentioned, like he made a big improvement from 2024 to 2025. So that's nice to see. It's not the same sense, but I look at it like an Esmeralda Valdez. Like Esmeralda Valdez was like, well, there's something there. It's interesting, but can he actually become a major league player? And then Esmeralda Valdez took that next step this past year. You said, okay, you know what? This is a legit prospect. And that's kind of looked as the past we're at, the same sense to some level. We're not a complete apples to apples comparison, but like what this 2025 was for him. So again, though, my thing with him is it's not a complete package. He's not done. Like, he still needs to make that next step this upcoming year in the future to really become like that everyday player, to then look at this deal and say this was good for both sides. So ultimately, like, right. I mean, I like the deal. It's interesting. This is also something where, like Spencer Horwitz, we mentioned last year, like, why did that deal kind of make sense? Well, it's really no additional money added. We're talking about Yandy Diaz's and Lowe's and Alec Boehm. Like, you made a deal, you got a potential bat here. Doesn't really change payroll. So, like, the next move can come in so many ways still. They just have to make the next move. That's where they failed last year after making the Horwitz deal. But again, like, that's kind of why I do like this, because if you still want to go out there and get like a Stephen Kwan or who knows what, there's plenty of salary to be thrown around this offseason to do that. And as we'll get to, even with or without Mitch Keller.
Yeah, it's a good first move. I like acquiring this guy. Giving up Oviedo, I don't know, to me it's a lot. But Oviedo only has 2 years left, before he's a free agent. He's in arbitration, so he's costing more than your younger guys. I think he's expendable. I'm a big Oviedo fan, so I'm gonna miss him. I think he brings a lot. I like the competitiveness that he offers. The like he's just a fiery dude, easy to root for. Like just an easy guy to root for. So I'm gonna miss him. And I think what I like about this move is it gives you some options on how to deploy him. Like, I don't think this dude is ready to just like be your everyday left fielder, but I think you could start him off in like kind of ease him into like a platoon situation, maybe where maybe this is your center fielder against lefties. Like, if you want to platoon Cruz, this is your guy. But again, he can play left field on some days if you need him to. He can DH, he can play right. Like, you can move him around all three outfield spots. And I think he is major league ready. Like, I don't think there's much more for this guy to prove in the minors. I think he's a major leaguer to start the year. And if you're looking at this Pirates roster and you're saying, hey, who are your top 3 outfielders? He's in it. Like, he's now one of your top 3 outfielders on your roster. So I still want them to go out there and get like at least like a left-handed bat now for left field. I think that's where you need to make next sure up the outfield. Like, you still need a left fielder. You still need a left-handed bat, preferably. But you can deploy Garcia in a lot of ways where he can help this team. Again, he's gonna have some rough patches with the swing and miss stuff, but the power is legit. It's real. And he hit lefties fairly well this season. 857 OPS against lefties. It was 800 against righties. Like I said, minor leagues, but he obviously a little bit better numbers versus lefties. I like it. Again, they need to do more, but this is a top 3 outfielder on the Pittsburgh Pirates right now.
Yeah. Well, like you said, and something in the chat about the overpay, I kind of lean that way also. There's just so many parallels to me about the Spencer Horwitz move with this move. There has to be something different than last year. Like, you have to make the next move, which as much as I don't believe the Pirates and I'm skeptical, right? I do believe something's still coming. Like, again, Ben has to. Something's coming. There's still plenty of payroll space to do something with, right? But it's a 5-player deal. Oviedo goes, Samaniego goes, Adonys, Guzman goes, and then of course Garcia comes in, and Jesús Travieso, who we don't really know much on. He's not on any like top prospect lists, top 30, top anything on anywhere. But he's a 18-year-old, comes from Venezuela. He was signed by them. He's a pitcher, reached A-ball. To be determined, I guess. I'm not going to tell you much. Jim, I think I can speak for you as well. Like, we're not here to tell you much on him. We really don't know. So we'll learn more about him. But again, like, giving up that package for Garcia, again, just because of the red flags with him, it does make me a little bit nervous on this. It could be an overpay, but one thing I'll say again, like going back to last night, like, if that is a guy that you wanted, like if Ben says, like, this is who I've been wanting for a while, that's what it's going to take to get him, go get your guy. He wanted Horwitz last year, and if that's what it's going to take to get him, again, I thought it was an overpay. I thought you can maybe get that for less, but if that's what it took to get Horwitz, then go get him. And again, like, it worked out pretty good so far for the Pirates is looking, right? So if he's looking at him the same way, like this is what I'm identifying, this is what I want to go get. That's what it took to get him, and he's going to turn out to be the guy that you envisioned. Then if you need to overpay, you need to overpay. The Pirates probably need to overpay to get the guys that they want. So yeah, I look at it that way. I have some concerns about him, but there's certainly things in there that I do like as well.
Yeah, I think just the concern here is like there's bust potential here. Like there's potential that he's the next Jack Swinski.
Yes.
Like that's there is
Yes.
the potential there. The swing and miss stuff is a little alarming. He's getting better. He's young, which helps. Like you hope that he can just continue to develop and become a good major league regular. I'm happy with this deal. Like I said, Oviedo was somewhat expendable. Overpay maybe saying a little bit more, but yeah, I want to see what he looks like. Honestly, I want to see what he looks like at the major league level. There isn't really much of a sample size there. He got a cup of coffee this past season, 7 at bats, with Boston. But like he looked good in AAA at a young age. He's progressed through the minors the way you want to see it. Like things have been progressing for him each and every year, and the power is certainly nice to have. So yeah, I mean at this point, it's just a wait and see. Like, can he live up to that potential? He gives you something that really no one else in the upper levels of your system gives you.
Yeah,
which
for sure.
is power from the right side in the outfield. There's that doesn't exist past Esmeralda Valdez. Like Esmeralda Valdez is your closest guy who possesses those traits, and Valdez isn't. Valdez is another year or so away.
Yeah, and the thing about Valdez too is like the defense is very skeptic on that. We're not sure where he's going to play, if it's even passable where he's going to play. Again, that's why with him, at least with Garcia, like there's somewhat of a floor because he can handle the field to some level, right?
Yeah.
But to go back about the Jack Swinski thing, like someone put here, it's not an overpay because like he has all the tools and stuff. But that's the thing though, like it's tools. Tools are cool, right? I have a whole lot of tools here. Guess what I can't do? I can't build a house. I mean, it took me enough to build this IKEA bookshelf behind me, right? So like it's cool to have tools, but they don't really do anything if they can't actually produce something for you, right? And that's all he has right now are tools. It's going to be interesting to see what those tools can develop and become. That's why even with those tools, again, like we're talking about here, the K rate and the RIF rate. I mean, in AAA last year, 29.1% K rate. Like Jack Swinski was doing that in AA. He never reached AAA in the minors when he was coming up because he went right to Pittsburgh, right? So I'm having those numbers when he was a prospect, but that was what Jack was doing in AA. So like the strikeouts aren't as bad as Jack was in the minors to like those degree. But again, we're talking here the chase rate, 34, basically 35%. I'm also looking at zone contact. Like he just doesn't hit the ball often. This is kind
I'm
of
not
what
gonna
the
lie,
Pirates.
he looks a lot like Rafael Flores with more power.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah. That's a good
again,
way of
like
putting this.
I'm not looking at just like blue dots, red dots, and saying like this guy's good or bad, but I do want to say like there are a lot of things to like about this guy. He's 22. He's hit the ball really well, but like the strikeout rate, the chase rate, the whiff rate, the contact rate, those are red flags. That's what
Mhm.
those are. And so it's there's a reason why Boston has a jumbled outfield situation, and Garcia was on the outside looking in, right? That there's a reason why he was traded and Abreu wasn't, because Boston thinks Abreu's better. So again, I'm excited for the deal. I'm excited to get him in the system. I want to see what he can do. It's just there are concerns here,
Sure.
but there's a lot to like too.
Yep. And I guess I'll say this to add and maybe finish this part of the conversation, but those concerns are probably also what makes it be Oviedo. Like you might still look at it as an overpay, but like if he also had a very good contact rate and a very good whiff rate, and all that, well, then he's closer to Roman Anthony than anything. And well, now it's going to cost you much more than Oviedo, So like trading an Oviedo as a prospect comes in a sense, you're probably going to get someone with some type of warts. And again, like those warts are more red flags in my mind than other things in other areas. But again, like what he does present and have are also a lot of tools that it do excite you, and something that the Pirates don't really have right now in their system. So again, I mean, I do like the trade. I like the trade. There are some red flags in him. Like, I guess the way I'm putting that is like, I don't look at him and just say, okay, the Pirates are cooking. They're ready for 2026. I say, okay, I like what we got in return. I like this guy in the system. There's still more that needs to be done, but him at the contract he's going to have allows still more flexibility to them to still do those other things. And then at the end of the offseason, if you're looking at, like, hey, they got this guy, and they got him, like, they're not relying on Garcia to make this team a contender next year. He could be a nice piece right now as he develops.
Yeah, I think right now that's what he is. Like, he's a piece. I think,
Yep.
you know, he's a little bit risky in that, like, I don't know if he is 100% going to be a regular MLB player. I think he's, you know, probably got a fourth outfielder floor who's going to give you a bunch of power off the bench and mash lefties. But, you know, if everything clicks, then he's a 25 to 30 homer corner outfield guy. And the Pirates could desperately use one of those. So,
For sure.
yeah, let's hope everything clicks here.
Yeah. So, do you want to transition to like what this means next for Keller and the squad?
I want to briefly touch on just the other guys in this trade. Adonys Guzman, dude played one game, I think, in the entire organization. He was the Pirates' 5th round pick last year out of the University of Arizona. So you know, a catcher. So he gets traded. He actually, so I mean, there's not really, we didn't really get to see him much. He played one game for the Pirates in Bradenton, and he homered in that one game. So it was a hell of a game.
That's why it's an overpay.
It's going to be his only game for the Pirates, but that was another one. And then Tyler Samaniego, we talked about him in our episode a few weeks back with the 40-man roster crunch. He was added. He was Rule 5 eligible this year. Relief pitcher, minor leaguer, had some pretty solid numbers in Double-A. Has kind of just dealt with the injury bug for the last few years. Had a healthy season this year, and yeah, looked pretty good. So those two guys are just, you know, guys that you can. I'm okay giving those guys up, but yeah, let's wait and see. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not like all in on him. Like I'm not. I don't love the guy, but I like him. I like a lot of the stuff that he brings, and I think there's a chance he can help this team out.
Yeah, I think that's the fairest way to look at this. I mean, I think we both kind of agree on that. This to me isn't a slam dunk by any means, but it has the potential to. There's a lot of things I like about him, but there are some concerns.
Yep.
So let's wait and see. Again, though, ultimately, though, like he's already known amongst baseball everywhere. I mean, people talk about him everywhere, national stuff. I mean, because of his name, he is the password, and the Pirates have the password. So if you're looking in some weird, odd way, like he's now a Pittsburgh Pirate, and people know him, so that's kind of cool. And I can't wait. I mean, here today,
people know him, and he's a Pittsburgh Pirate, so that's kind of cool.
That's a quote.
We got someone that people have heard of.
Yeah. Let's say it's December 4th, 2025. And Jim, people are still unable to spell Andrew McCutchen's name correctly. Every day in our comments, we see Andrew McCutchen spelled 3 different ways at least. I'm happy that this guy's on our team just for this. I just want to see the Yinzers spelling.
Well, I'm just
whatever
gonna
they spell
on Stinson. I'm just, the password is going to be good for me. That's what I'm going to be rolling with on this.
You
this
lazy guy. POS. Spell it out like a real fan with the AI image train. My real fans chime in.
Yeah.
Spell Jhostynxon.
But yeah, as far as the rest of the rotation goes, I think I don't think it necessarily closes the door on a Mitch Keller trade. Like, I think that's still a possibility here. It's just now, you know, you're looking and you've got, you know, with Oviedo out of the picture, your starting 5 as we stand right now is Skeens, Keller, Ashcraft, Chandler, Burrows, in whatever order you want to put them in. But those are your 5. Number 6 is Hunter Barco. So
Mhm.
if you trade Keller, it means you got to bring someone else in. That's what it means. So like if you're trading Keller, you can still do it. It's just you then have to allocate some probably a 1-year deal to like a Jose Quintana type guy, someone like that out there to bring in and be like, all right, I know this guy's going to be a major league pitcher who I can plug into the rotation, because you don't want to roll into the season with, Thomas Harrington would be your number 6 guy at that point. Like,
Yeah.
That's your depth. That's your next guy up. Because Jones is going to be injured until the middle of the year. And like, who knows when he gets back, or, he might be eased in, going to the bullpen. I don't know, but it's, and I guess there's Majinski who like can start, but we saw that last year, like much more effective out of the bullpen. So,
and that's a
I don't think
specialized role. He's super effective with also, like that multi-inning
Yeah.
bulk role he does is, I mean, again, yeah, I would much rather him be there than as a starter.
Yep. So like I said, I don't think it's out. I don't think it completely closes the door on one. It just means that if you trade Keller, like there's got to be another move. Like you've got to add another pitcher.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's my dude. I always felt like if they trade Keller, Jose Quintana is like got to be the guy. That's who I want. But you have to. That's why, like last night we talked about in trading these guys are making deals for these, more controllable players, opposed to like the 1-year deal guys. Is, the 1-year deal guys, you probably are dipping into your prospect well of players that aren't, looking forward to pitching in the major leagues this year. But getting a guy like Garcia, you're going to have to give up one of these guys that are probably penciled into your rotation. And the more that you give away those guys, the less that you have. And now you're making a strength into a potential weakness. So you're absolutely right. Like with this deal, with Oviedo gone, I like it for the fact that this kind of shows Mitch Keller could fit on this team, because no money really gained with the payroll and doing this deal. But I could still see them trading Mitch Keller to, we don't know how the offseason is going to shape out going forward. But if they do that, then they absolutely have to, like you mentioned, get another pitcher. I mean, no question, they have to. They still almost might right now. Like I still wouldn't mind Quintana being added even as it stands today.
Yeah. I said the one thing here is like you
Did I
dealt
say
from the
Quintana?
rotation. Yeah, you said Quintana.
Okay.
The one thing I would just kind of say is again, I like this trade overall. I've got mixed feelings about it, but I think overall it's decent. I don't love the fact that you traded one of your starting pitchers though, and you didn't get back like a for sure regular in return. I think that's the one thing that's kind of keeping me from being like super excited about this deal, is like, I mean, Johan Oviedo is a 2-WAR pitcher.
Mhm.
I mean, if Johan Oviedo starts this year, he's probably going to give you at least 2 WAR. And you would have liked to have gotten at least like a regular starter in return for that. It's like, okay, well, hey, we have our left fielder now, or we have our third baseman now. And I'm not confident that it's possible that we found that guy. It's possible. Like he could become that. It's just like at this moment in time, that he's a big question mark. He has 7 major league at bats, and he struck out 29% of the time in AAA. So like I guess that's my only hesitation here, to be like, I absolutely love everything about this, is that they still really didn't address anything from like a I'm putting this guy in this spot of the lineup. They maybe did. Like they
that not what
maybe
Spencer
did.
Horwitz was last year?
Well, I think with Horwitz,
he
it
had
was
more
like
plate
he was going
appearances.
to
You saw
be,
more experience.
Horwitz was
But it was
different. Yeah,
still,
Horwitz is a little different.
it's just a little bit. It was just a little bit. It was small-ish sample, not really sure. I just say, like, I find it, because there's a lot of parallels in this deal. But again, I liked the Spencer Horwitz trade. I just thought it was an overpay. And this one, I like it. I just think it's an overpay. Maybe not as much as an overpay as what I felt Spencer Horwitz was last year, because this guy's actual legit prospect as well, not an older guy who just caught on. So with that being said, though, again, wait and see. The deal was made. We dealt, they dealt from a strength. They gained something they needed, and we'll just kind of go and see what the rest of the offseason unfolds. But again, this is also right before the winter meetings, so maybe something else is lined up. We also said, though, Jim, trade is going to have to happen first for this team for maybe free agents to buy in. That's my next question. We talked about Keller. Does this in any way also maybe change anyone's mind? Do you look at this and say, this is a start to something, they're doing something? Is this a prelude to maybe like, hey, we got a free agent on the hook here, let's show them what we got and we'll reel them in?
I don't think this trade necessarily moves the needle for any free agent to change their mind about who the Pittsburgh Pirates are.
Fair. And I agree.
I think Garcia is better.
It is a move, though. It's something to talk about. It's something for fans to, hey, there's some excitement. They did something.
Yeah.
Has it been? It's been all talk. It was a trade, not a signing, but they did do something. So at least it happened. But I'm with you. This wasn't like, again, like they got Will or Abreu. Then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I said this trade is going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because it's possible that the Pirates just got a power hitting corner outfielder for the next 6 years. And really all they had to do was give away their number 5 starter who had 2 more years of control left.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility here. The other possibility is that he turns into a right-handed Jack Swinski, and you gave up a 2-WAR pitcher to get him.
Right.
I think it's going to. I think ultimately you're probably going to end up somewhere in the middle there, but the upside is nice here, and because he offers you the upside that no one else in your organization really offers you at this point in time.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's all fair. I almost felt like if I'm the Red Sox, I'm looking at this as if like, this is great. Like, this is what you use the password for, because we have all this depth at an outfield. They're all controllable. You got yourself a 2-WAR pitcher who's cheap, controllable. Like, our rotation now looks good. The Pirates, I like it, but I think there's this risk. The Red Sox could lose out too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, you could be a great outfielder, but they don't need that.
Yep.
They're here for the now as well. So I feel like it was a good move for the Red Sox. I feel like it's a good move for the Pirates as well. It lines up. But again, there's some reasons to, I think, have some caution with him. But I'm excited. I'm
just excited something happened.
Maybe that's just what it is.
Something happened, and this was a need. Like they need a guy that Garcia could possibly become.
Yeah, as Sean says, we are celebrating the fact the front office did something. Doing. It has gotten bad. That's basically what it is.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Well, go out there and get a left-handed hitting left fielder, though. If you do that now, and then I'm cool with this guy. You rolling into the 2026 season with Garcia as your number 4 outfielder who will start every game against lefties.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's that. Anything else that you want to touch on?
I don't think so. Appreciate everybody for hopping in. Go back and check out NS9 Live from last night. We introduced a brand new segment on that I think everybody will enjoy. But yeah, that's it for today. And like I said, we'll be at winter meetings starting Sundays when we arrive. So if something happens from Sunday on, we'll be on location to talk about it.
I'm so happy I didn't do what I said I was going to do today and pack up all my equipment. I was like, oh, there's no more shows. I'll pack everything up, be ready for Orlando. And an emergency podcast dropped. So my procrastination paid off. Take that, Mom. All right. Let's get out of here. We love you guys. And tomorrow, The Point returns. We'll have a panel. You'll be hosting that. Something to talk about right before the winter meetings. And then, like Jim said, we'll have all kinds of content starting Sunday next week. Tune in, especially on Tuesday. on our playback channel. If you guys aren't familiar with that, we'll tweet it out. We'll put it in everywhere that you're finding us at right now. But when they're going live, we'll have Tyler, Cody, Ryan also going live to watch where the Pirates draft for 2026. And then we'll have the Rule 5 draft on Wednesday. But yeah, all kinds of content. So what you need to do also is, if you're subscribed, well, if you're not, subscribe. And if you are, hit that bell as well to give you all the notifications when we go live. We'll have AMAs, we'll have beat writers on, we'll have all kinds of content. So do that. We're out though.
Yep.
We love you guys.
And like the video.
Like the video. There you go. Hype it up too. Hype it up. All right. I'm out. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.